Oh my god, why'd you put me in a corner and ask me this question? I don't hate short hairs! Hello all, it's so nice to see y'all faces again. How's it going? I hope my people who are finally out of school, y'all are enjoying this lovely summer. Because summer has been, it's been real hot and been real crazy and been real. But regardless to whatever, it's also been pretty eye-opening and enjoyable, and I've been enjoying my summer so far, and I hope y'all have been too. But never mind that, we're gonna go on ahead and get to these questions because I've been meaning to do another Q&A video for a while now. I just never really had the time, and then I kind of forgot about it a while back. And then I recorded one, but then I accidentally deleted all the files. So now we're doing this bad boy all over again, as well as some questions that I also asked you guys to ask me on my Instagram too. You know, if you've asked me both on Instagram and YouTube, then, you know, I don't mind, but goddamn, man. So without further ado, let's get to our first question. Why did I do that? That was so awkward. So I've gotten a lot of questions in regards to Sarah Berry, and I'm honestly not surprised because I know y'all love y'all some Sarah. And as much as it pains me to think back at that project because I burned myself out so fucking bad, but I will definitely, I like talking about it for y'all, and I know y'all want to know when more content is coming soon, or if there is any content of Sarah coming soon. To answer your question, yes, there is more Sarah content coming soon, or Sarah universe related content coming soon. I actually have two things in the works. One is a film in regards to the relationship of Sarah and Sarah's mother, Cassandra Berry, and it goes a little bit more in depth of that, as well as explains what happens to Sarah and, you know, what happens to her dad after the events of the main film. That entire film is actually based on this one song called Back to Black, and it's really good, but it's still in the process of being written, and I haven't been able to dive deep into it yet. But when I get the chance to, you guys will be the first ones to know. And then I also have another series that goes in depth, not of Sarah, but one of the characters, one of the major characters within the Sarah Berry universe, which is Courtney Washington, and she has her own series coming out soon. Basically goes more in depth about, you know, Sarah and Courtney's relationship and what happened and how they got to where they are now. But to answer y'all questions, yes, there is going to be more Sarah content. Yes, please stop asking me about it. Yes, I don't know why y'all want to see her so badly. She's a horrible person, but yes, she's coming back. So I don't remember if any of you saw my community post in regards to me eventually leaving LPS Tube, but after I wrap up a couple of epilogue films, you know, some major series here and there, and then, you know, go from there, I do plan on leaving the LPS community. I know, I'm sorry. Now, I'm not going to stop, you know, studying film and cinematography, because once I leave the LPS community, I'm planning on merging over to making animatics and animations and studying animation a lot better than how I used to be. Or how I used to. And I've recently improved in my art skills. If you'd like to check out my art, you can go on ahead and check out my Cara, because I post a lot on there. But once I leave LPS Tube, I do plan on like diving more into my art style, improving with my art, and getting a little bit more professional with my art. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start off with animatics and storyboards just to ease my way into it, because I have no knowledge of animation. I just know how to edit and get from there, but I know editing and animation kind of go hand in hand. I plan on becoming a indie animator and, you know, animating some of my things, you know, or, you know, creating a new universe where I can just animate that. My favorite LPS series and LPS Tube. Oh god, there's so many. Okay, so I actually have a playlist of a lot of my favorite pieces of media that I highly recommend you guys check out, because I know sometimes people ask me for LPS recs and everything, and I'm always zooming and scrolling and doom scrolling through LPS2 because nobody else wants to. So if you'd like to check out some specific faves, I have them all down on that playlist. But my all-time favorite LPS series as of right now would definitely have to be Devour by Isbiz Films. My girl Tay, that's my homie. The Devour universe is so complex and it has so much potential to be an awesome ass action thriller series, and I love how it's just all of my favorite aspects all in one. I love the characters so far. Val is obviously a personal favorite of mine for no particular reason, but I also really love finding Celestia because I think it's a really cool dark fantasy concept that you really don't get to see a lot of in this community either. It's about two dudes traveling with a bunch of their friends to go find a mystical artifact to fix the problems all in their town, and it's just the sets, the story, and the progression within the story and the camera work. Go watch LPS Sage. That's another LPS tuber that I highly recommend you all check. A favorite character of mine that I've written in my series so far, I can't say because it's spoilers, but I'll go on ahead and leak her. I love the entire House of Memories universe. This is something that I'm currently working on that's going to be coming sometime in the fall and Halloween because it's Danganronpa. But the three main protagonists within the House of Memories series, Lilith, Luna, and Simone. Those three. I love those three for very obvious reasons that I cannot say and I will not disclose until the series itself comes out. But just know, I love those three. I love those three so much. But an all-time favorite of mine and an ongoing series that is currently out right now, y'all all know what I'm about to say. Y'all should know the answer to this by now. I can show you a picture and y'all will know who I'm talking about. So, character short and short films for characters in completed series, I do plan on doing, actually. I'm currently in the works of broadening some of the universes that I have already established instead of creating new ones. But there are character shorts, I wouldn't really call them shorts, I would call them films, because I have a bunch of What's Yours Is Mine films planned for the Maximus family. Mainly Theodore and Adora, because I wanted to explain why Theodore is the way that he is, as well as Adora, why she is the way that she is. And then there's supposed to be a season 2 of What's Yours Is Mine. I can hear the What's Yours Is Mine fans screaming in the back. There's supposed to be a season 2, which is actually a prequel, and it goes through in depth of the lives of Mina and Travis, or it's basically Mina and Travis's point of view of everything, and you know, it kind of takes us to where we let off, because you know, What's Yours Is Mine started off with everything already pre-established, but you had to figure out what and why. So now we're going to go into the past and figure out what and why. Same with Pride. I mean, I feel like Pride is already, like, everything's already established and it's kind of in your face, although there is a couple of things that I do plan to do. But yes, I'm in the process of broadening my universes, which is what I've been working on with House of Memories, because at first I was gonna just come out with House of Memories, but then I was like, you know, I kind of wanna get out my comfort zone and start, you know, broadening the worlds of these characters and, you know, share it so people can know and get it all out of my fucking head. First of all, I am so honored when people are inspired by my characters and my content in general. Are you kidding me? Most of the time, I come up with all this shit out of my ass, so the fact that there are people out here who are watching it and like getting inspired by it, it blows my mind all the time when I hear somebody say, oh, you inspired me to become an LPS tuber, or you inspired me to make this or XYZ, and I'll just be like, really? It feels like I accomplished my, you know, goal as a filmmaker, especially as a black filmmaker, and hearing that from other small black filmmakers when they ask me for advice, or when they tell me, like, you know, I kind of inspired them to get started with their shit, you know, whether it be LPS or not. It warms my heart so much. And I also be feeling like some of my stuff is like, I don't know, I feel like I could do better. Not like I'm trying to be hard on myself. I am hard on myself. I'm hard. But sometimes I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to look at it in an audience view standpoint, even though I tend to be a fan of my own shit sometimes. it's hard for me to look at my stuff and think people would actually get inspired by it or like base their own characters off of characters that I have. So hearing that and knowing that there are people out there who are inspired enough to start doing their own shit because of what I have put out, that warms my heart, and it makes me feel like I'm fulfilling my goal as an artist, period. So thank you so much. I don't mind at all. I love that. I mean, I wish it wasn't Adora, but I'm so glad that she was able to help you shape a character. So yeah. I feel like I've said this hot take so many times. I've got a bunch of these, but I'll go in depth of 2 because I'm not trying to get yelled at by people. So I guess I'll just go on ahead and state the first one. I don't like the way people write their romances. Now, I'm a demi-romantic, wink wonk, but when it comes to romance, I think it's such a complex complex content that can be, you know, it can be explored in so many different ways. I don't know if this has anything to do with people's personal nuanced experiences of romance, but I feel the representation that we see for like in-game couples especially, it's not really doing anything for me. It's pretty like it just happens and I just feel meh. Like that's it. It happens and I'm just, oh, okay. I'm not mad, I don't feel anything. And this seems to be a problem for a lot of in-game relationships that I've come across personally, where it's like the two finally get together and, you know, it's not giving me that big oomph. It's more so giving me that, you know, the creator ships them, and since everybody else ships them, they have to make them a thing. And that's cool and all, but like when it happens, I don't feel anything. And I used to think there was something wrong with me because it was like everybody else was rooting for these two, and then I'm just sitting here like I don't feel a bond. I don't feel like there was no jealousy type of thing. There was no fighting. These two didn't have some type of makeup, whatever. You know, it doesn't feel deserved. A lot of romances that I come across in the LPS community don't really feel deserved, and I don't know if that has anything to do with me studying romance development in general. I'm such a romance psychology nerd, or just a relationship psychology nerd in general, and even when it comes to friendship bonds, I really don't feel anything. Like, it's just like the people, they don't have their own personalities outside of being friends with that person, or their own things going on outside of that person, so it just feels a little nuanced to me. Even some new shit that I come across now, like I said, I don't know if this has anything to do with anyone's personal experience with romance, but I feel like romance, it needs to be studied. It needs to be studied. I didn't want to say that, but like, it needs to be studied. I actually made a writing tips video too, going in depth of like romance or relationship development, and you know, the different types of bonds that need to be formed, or different types of attraction and all that. And from what I've seen and a lot of stuff that I tend to come across, the popular shit that is, it happens to be, I don't know, it feels like the characters are friends, and then you've got all these other types of bonds and other relationships, but they go from friends and skip right to this, and then it just makes me feel nothing. And you know, yeah, I feel that way towards, I don't want to say this, but I feel that way towards some shit that I watch from some mutuals of mine too. Like, I don't really feel the chemistry. I don't feel the bond. I feel like some relationships, they just get together just to get together, and there's no cat and mouse. There's no toxic shit going on. Which brings me to my next hot take. I feel like people bastardize toxic characters in this community way too fucking much. Or let me rephrase that. Let y'all main characters be messy! People don't allow their characters to have these different types of character flaws or personalities within them, or even just some messy shit going on, because they want their main characters to be like the pinnacle of certain stories or whatever. Don't want them to make any mistakes on purpose, which I get that. I completely understand that, but it's so boring. Let your characters get angry. Let them do stupid things because that's how they learn. Let them be messy. It's not only entertaining for the rest of us, but it makes your character a person, because these are well-rounded people with their own personalities, not self-inserts or people who you want them to be. Don't make your characters who you want them to be. Let your characters shape from their own personal experience and so on and so forth. A voice that I hate doing. An accent that I want to improve in is definitely more African accents, because I want to create more African characters, of course, because I'm black myself. But I actually had this idea stirring up in mind. Oh, so many ideas stirring up in mind of an African magical witch that comes from Africa, that comes from Ghana, I believe. I want to improve it. I want it to be better. I don't want it to sound botched or anything, or like, you know, you can obviously tell that I don't regularly talk like this, but I want to, you know, I want to improve it so it can sound natural. You know, favorite color of mine to use would probably be anything warm. Like, I like, well, right now it's cool, but I like warm lighting because I feel like having warm lighting makes scenes a little bit more. I like warm lighting because it makes everything seem softer, and you know, I align myself with warm colors, like anything brown, orange, red, yellow too. I align myself with those colors, so having any scene that kind of represents that, or some type of antique looking scene, I want to try to shoot for something like that, like something not too antique, but something that looks almost 90s, old school, with a Kodak. I use Adobe After Effects, and I have for the last 8 years. No, it's not. It hasn't been 8 years. It's been 9 years now, I think. I've been using Adobe After Effects for the last 9 years now. I used to use Sony Vegas Pro, which is a really good startup program. It's not free, but you can pirate it. But if you want something that's completely free and a little bit less hectic, I highly recommend you use DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve kind of gives you the same feel as Premiere Pro, but any beginners out there, you guys should use it because I feel like it's pretty easy. Like if you use Movie Maker, like Windows Movie Maker, anyone who uses that, I suggest you try out DaVinci Resolve because it's really nice and it gives you HD just like that. You don't have to struggle to get HD like the rest of us here. So I plan out my music videos just like how I plan out my series. I basically make not a storyboard for it, but I kind of write out how I want the scenes to look if it's a music video that comes from a series, like obviously all of the Pride music videos that have been coming and rolling out lately. But if it's just a standard music video where I'm just, you know, showing them singing and editing it, I edit it, or no, I film it, I edit it, and then I fart something out that looks good. So the names of my series most of the time comes from, I don't know how to explain this process. Okay, so basically I have soundtracks of almost every piece of media that I have created, and usually those sometimes play a part in me naming series. But if it's a series where the theme song for the series does not fit the song, or like, you know, the name and the series, they don't align with each other, it's usually because of the description. Okay, so some of these I've already kind of answered, so I'm gonna skim through them. Sorry, Nightlight. I will never make a high school series. I've never made a high school series. High School Never Ends was a young adult series about young adults going back to college, but this is not a high school series. That misconception needs to be debunked right now because I will never make a high school series. A character that I say would need therapy the most is, I don't know. Streaming services are the devil. I will never, ever, ever think about putting my content on any type of streaming service. The only streaming service that they would be on is YouTube, which is free. And then of course Patreon, which people gotta pay for if they want to see stuff early. And not to say I don't support anyone who does decide to put their stuff on streaming services. Vivzy Pop has been able to put a lot of her indie projects on Amazon Prime, and I'm very happy for her and all that. But I just feel like that kind of goes against, there's something about that just feels really wrong, and it just takes away the joy of something being all your own, because it's no longer your own. You have to share those royalties with a big corporation, a big company that just only wants your project just for money, or to gather it for money. And like I said, it goes against my beliefs, so no thank you, no thank you. I don't want any of my stuff on any type of streaming service at all. If I were tasked to write a modern Bratz film targeted towards adults, well, first and foremost, I would need a team for this, because there are so many people who could make this stuff happen, and I know a bunch of my friends, so many people I could ask to be a part of this. Like, I would not be the only one a part of this, but I have no idea, because I'm not really the best at slice of life. If it's like a comedy or something, best believe I'll watch it, because I like seeing people grow, and I like being a part of something. I like feeling the experience. I like feeling as if I'm watching these people grow along the way. Like, I like that about slice of life stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'd need a team of people for this though, because this isn't my strong point. This isn't necessarily my field. And although I'm making Pride, which is a slice of life project, and I've helped make Enemies with Benefits and High School Never Ends, slice of life, as y'all can tell, is not my forte and not my field. So after completing What's Yours Is Mine the first time around, I wasn't exactly, I guess I was just trying to finish the series and wrap it up with a bow, because first and foremost, I wasn't really planning for What's Yours Is Mine to come out, nor was I expecting it to perform so well and for so many people liking it. It genuinely was like a throwaway test series, for real, but there was so much good audience, you know, response after, I believe it was episode 7. I felt compelled to try to, I don't know, I tried to go deep into it, but then I kind of lost interest in it, so then I tried to wrap it with the bow, and then, you know, a lot of people were not feeling it. The first ending, if you've seen it, it's really bad. Now, the second ending, of course, I felt a little bit more relieved, and I feel like it ended pretty well. Like the first season, I feel like it wrapped up everything pretty well, answered as many questions as possible. Of course, there's a couple loopholes within the plot here and there that I could go back and fix, that I do plan on going back and fixing within the second season. All in all though, What's Yours Is Mine really took a while for me to actually appreciate and like, because like I said, it's one of my least favorite projects, and I really didn't care for it at first, and I didn't expect it to perform as well as it did. So, you know, I decided to dive more into it and, you know, give the characters more depth. Definitely give Adora more depth too, because somebody called me out about how I have like repetitive villains and they're all men, and I was like, me? Are you kidding me? I don't like that. I don't like that. So I went in and decided to make Adora way more vile and compelling than she was, and I hate to say it, but I kind of like it. I like her as a villain in terms of like fighting her father back, but not all that extra uncomfortable sexual assault she performed on Talia. No. Oh my god, why'd you put me in a corner and ask me this question? I don't hate short hairs. I've joked about hating short hairs multiple times. I don't really like them. They're not my favorite. I don't hate them. I guess I just feel a little indifferent towards them. For one, I feel like short hairs are the main character in literally every series that I see, every old series that I see. But for me personally, I don't know. Short hairs, I don't know. They don't really appeal to me as much, you know? I swear I'm a cat person. I love cats in real life. But the LPS short hair, it's just something about them. I really don't care for them all that much. I just go around joking about how much I hate them because I think it's funny, but I don't really hate them. I shrug my shoulders and then I drop them because I don't care. Now, will I make short hair characters? Obviously, yes. I have a bunch of short hair characters, but will they be main characters, or will I like sought out to use them as a main character? No. not even a love interest, because they're everywhere, and I feel like short hairs have gotten enough representation as it is. But one short hair I do, or well, there's actually a few short hairs that I do like to use in particular. Egyptian short hair, I love that short hair. I love her so much. She's so pretty, and I feel like she'd be even better if she was made into like a dachshund. If there's a customizer out there who would like to make this a dachshund for me, please do, because I would love to use her. I would use her so badly. But those are, wait, did my camera shake? I hope not. No, those are all the questions that I have for today. Thank you guys so much for participating in this Q&A, because like always, I never think that I'm gonna get any questions. And when I do get questions, I kind of forget about them. So I'm glad I wasn't able to forget about them this time, because you guys asked questions. Thank you. But thank you guys so much as always. Stay humble, goofy, and creative. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.